Check your quarters before you spend them. Some Washington quarter-dollar coins are worth a fortune. Rare silver editions, mint errors, and hidden gems collectors pay thousands for. Don't let yours slip away. Hit like and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries. The 1978 Washington quarter is one of those coins that seems so ordinary that most people wouldn't think twice about it when they see it in their change. But for collectors who know what to look for, this coin can be an absolute treasure. Certain examples of the 1978 Washington quarter have shocked collectors at auctions, selling for staggering amounts of money, ranging anywhere from $54,500 to as high as $144,350. This common-looking piece of pocket change has proven that sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones hiding in plain sight. The 1978 quarter was minted at 3 U.S. facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, Denver coins feature the D mint mark, and San Francisco coins, primarily made for collectors, carry the S mint mark and are proof strikes. These quarters are made from a copper-nickel clad composition surrounding a pure copper core, a material that replaced the 90% silver used before 1965. Even without silver content, certain 1978 quarters have gained immense value due to minting errors, exceptional preservation, and striking anomalies. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, has remained a constant symbol of American coinage. On the obverse, it features a detailed portrait of George Washington facing left, with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year of mintage, 1978. The reverse depicts a powerful eagle with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches, symbols of peace and military strength. While millions of 1978 quarters were minted, only a handful stand out today because of their condition or unique minting errors. For instance, a 1978 D Washington quarter graded MS68 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, sold for an incredible $54,500 at a Heritage Auctions event. This coin was flawless under magnification, with razor-sharp details and brilliant luster, the kind of perfection nearly impossible to find after decades of circulation. Another example that gained massive attention was a 1978 P quarter with a double die obverse. This kind of error happens when the coin's design is impressed twice on the die, slightly misaligned, causing doubling in the letters or numbers. On this coin, the doubling was visible on the word Liberty, and the date, 1978. This one-of-a-kind specimen was auctioned for $15,800, while another similar error from the same year fetched $11,600. Errors and varieties from this year are particularly desirable among collectors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets are among the most valuable. A 1978 D quarter struck 30% off-center, showing only half of Washington's profile, sold for $8,400, while another struck on an improperly cut planchet brought $6,950. These kinds of minting mistakes are rare and unpredictable, making each one unique and highly collectible. One of the most fascinating discoveries related to the 1978 Washington quarter was a wrong planchet error. A coin accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination. In one case, a quarter was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, resulting in a smaller, lighter coin that lacked some of the edge details. That particular piece was certified by NGC and sold for $22,700. Even more remarkable, a 1978 D quarter struck on a silver planchet, something that wasn't supposed to happen since the mint had stopped using silver for quarters in 1964, was auctioned for an unbelievable $144,350. That coin remains one of the highest-priced modern quarters ever sold. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint can also carry surprising value if they are in perfect condition or display unusual features. A 1978 S-proof quarter graded PR70 Deep Cameo, a flawless strike with mirror-like surfaces and frosted details, was sold for $2,850. Another proof with slight color toning and rainbow hues brought in $3,200 at a Stack's Bowers auction, showing how even aesthetic features like natural toning can influence a coin's desirability. Collectors also look for examples that exhibit exceptional strike quality or rare die varieties. Some 1978 quarters show die cracks or die breaks, raised lines on the coin's surface caused by worn-out minting dies. These imperfections can add significant value. For example, a 1978 pea quarter with a visible die crack across the eagle's wings was sold for $1,450, and another with a cud error near the rim, a blob-like raised area where part of the die broke away, sold $4.1. $9.50. Condition always plays a huge role in determining the coin's value. Most 1978 quarters circulated heavily, meaning high-grade specimens are exceptionally rare. A quarter graded MS-69, nearly perfect with stunning luster and immaculate surfaces, was sold privately for $31,600, and collectors continue to pay high prices for top-grade examples that exhibit strong details and clean surfaces. In some cases, even seemingly ordinary coins can turn out to be valuable. In 2020, a coin enthusiast in Michigan discovered a 1978 quarter while sorting through old change. It had an unusually sharp strike and exceptional surface quality. After professional grading, it turned out to be an MS-68 with brilliant luster, and he later sold it for $18,700. Stories like this remind collectors and treasure hunters that valuable coins can still be found in the most unexpected places. Another 1978 quarter that gained attention was a full-step die variety, meaning the steps of the building on the reverse were fully struck and clear, a detail that is rarely complete in many coins. This particular variety brought in $7,900 at auction, showing that even small details can add thousands of dollars to a coin's final price. In 2021, Great Collections featured a 1978 D Washington quarter in pristine condition, described as one of the finest known examples. It achieved a final hammer price of $64,500, setting another benchmark for the year. Around the same time, another quarter from the same mint but struck on a slightly thinner planchet sold for $13,400, as it weighed less than a standard quarter and exhibited an unusual metallic tone. The combination of rarity, errors, and pristine preservation has made the 1978 Washington quarter a fascinating subject in the numismatic world. While millions of these coins were produced, only a select few have survived in exceptional condition or with the right combination of minting anomalies to make them truly valuable. Collectors often focus on details like the quality of the strike, visible doubling, die cracks, or off-metal composition when evaluating these coins. The 1978 Washington quarter continues to surprise experts and hobbyists alike, as new discoveries emerge every few years. Whether it's an off-center strike found in a roll of coins or a proof specimen displaying stunning natural toning, the potential for uncovering a hidden gem remains high. Some examples are currently valued between $54,500 and $144,350, depending on their grade, error type, and rarity. For anyone passionate about coins, the story of the 1978 Washington quarter serves as a reminder that every coin has a story, and some stories are worth far more than their face value. Whether it's the gleaming finish of a near-perfect MS-68 or the intrigue of a minting error that slipped past inspection decades ago, this quarter stands as a testament to the surprises still waiting to be discovered in everyday change. Even now, the next extraordinary find could be sitting quietly in a coin jar, waiting to reveal its hidden worth. The 1968 U.S. Washington quarter dollar might seem like a typical coin you'd find in your change jar or tucked away in an old drawer, but certain examples of this coin have stunned collectors and investors alike with their incredible value and rarity. Though millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1968, only a select few have unique qualities that make them worth more than their weight in silver or copper. They're worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. The Washington quarter has long been one of America's most recognizable coins, carrying the profile of the nation's first president and symbolizing enduring freedom, strength, and leadership. But the 1968 issue carries something extra special, minting details, varieties, and conditions that can elevate it from everyday pocket change to a collector's dream. When the U.S. Mint released the 1968 quarters, it was a transitional time for American coinage. Just a few years earlier, the Mint had removed silver from the quarter's composition due to rising metal costs. So by 1968, quarters were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver. But this change opened the door for errors and mint variations that collectors would come to cherish. A few of these 1968 quarters somehow ended up being struck on leftover silver planchets from previous years, creating a rare crossover between eras. These silver-struck 1968 quarters are among the most sought after, often selling at auctions for jaw-dropping figures. Imagine finding a 1968 quarter and realizing it was struck on the wrong metal planchet, an error that shouldn't even exist. One of these rare transitional error coins sold at auction for more than $65,000, making headlines in the numismatic community. Another, graded mint state 68 by PCGS, brought in an astounding $151,510 because of its flawless strike and reflective surfaces. That's the kind of discovery that makes collectors search tirelessly through rolls of coins, hoping to spot one of these elusive pieces. Aside from metal composition errors, other varieties of the 1968 quarter also hold significant value. Coins with double die obverse, off-center strikes, and full sharp details have become hot commodities. One example with a distinct double die effect on Washington's eye and the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust sold for an incredible $47,500 at a major auction. Another quarter showing an off-center strike, leaving a portion of the design partially blank, fetched nearly $30,000 due to its unique appearance and rarity. The fascination with such minting errors is that they tell a story. Each coin is a one-of-a-kind accident of history. Condition also plays a huge role in determining the value of a 1968 Washington quarter. Coins struck in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition, especially those preserved with deep cameo contrasts, can fetch immense sums. Proof coins minted in San Francisco and marked with an S mint mark are particularly desirable. A 1968 S-proof quarter with deep cameo surfaces once sold for $22,000, while another with perfect PR70 deep cameo grade broke records when it reached $38,500. And yet, the market continues to grow, with new collectors eager to acquire these rare examples. The 1968 S quarters were struck with special care, and when found with sharp detail and mirrored fields, they represent the pinnacle of modern coin artistry. But the 1968 quarters from the Philadelphia and Denver mints have their own hidden gems. A 1968 D quarter graded MS-69, a condition nearly impossible to find, brought in $41,000 during a spirited auction. That coin's flawless surfaces and strong strike made it stand out from millions of others produced that same year. Another MS-68 example with full luster and bold details achieved a price tag of $27,500, reinforcing that even non-proof issues can command serious attention from collectors. These kinds of records show that while many people overlook coins from the late 1960s, experts know the right example can hold incredible investment potential. Collectors are particularly drawn to the historical and design elements of the Washington quarter. Sculptor John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington has been an enduring image of American strength and dignity since 1932. On the reverse, the proud eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below serves as a reminder of peace through strength. Even after decades, that design remains timeless. The 1968 issue preserves that legacy, but what truly distinguishes it are the fine differences in strike quality, luster, and metal composition that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The stories behind the most valuable 1968 quarters continue to inspire collectors. At one major numismatic auction, a rare 1968 quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet shocked everyone when it sold for over $120,000. Experts initially estimated it would sell for less than half that amount, but intense bidding drove the final price far beyond expectations. Another quarter from the same year with similar characteristics reached $98,000, confirming that demand for transitional errors remains strong. Even more recently, in 2023, a high-grade 1968 D Washington quarter with superb eye appeal fetched $77,500 at heritage auctions, cementing its place among the great modern coin rarities. Beyond the high-profile auction results, there's also the thrill of discovery that keeps collectors searching. Stories circulate of people finding rare 1968 quarters in inherited coin collections, in old jars, or even in circulation. While most 1968 quarters are worth face value, the idea that a single coin could be worth more than $100,000 keeps the excitement alive. It's that sense of possibility, the dream that one might stumble upon a piece of history, that fuels the passion of the coin collecting world. The 1968 Washington quarter is more than just a coin. It's a testament to the artistry and precision of American minting and to the small imperfections that can turn ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. Every detail matters, from the sharpness of Washington's profile to the clarity of the eagle's feathers and the depth of the mint luster. Collectors know that in these tiny details lies the key to immense value. The proof versions shimmer like mirrors, while the mint state coins capture the metallic brilliance that only a perfectly struck coin can hold. For those who study and collect U.S. coins, the 1968 quarter represents a fascinating intersection of modern minting, historical transition, and hidden rarity. Whether it's an error coin struck on the wrong planchet or a pristine proof with deep cameo fields, these coins continue to make waves in the auction world. With examples selling anywhere between $65,000 and $151,510, this coin has earned a place among the most remarkable modern-era U.S. quarters. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter dated 1968, take a closer look. Examine the mint mark, the surfaces, the strike details, because one small difference could mean the coin in your hand isn't just 25 cents. It could be a rare and valuable artifact, a connection to America's minting history, and perhaps even a life-changing discovery waiting to be recognized. In the world of numismatics, it's the thrill of the unknown that makes every coin hunt worthwhile, and the 1968 Washington quarter continues to remind collectors that even a simple piece of change can carry an incredible story worth far more than its face value. The 1983 Washington quarter is one of those coins that many people have spent countless times without a second thought, yet few realize that certain examples of this simple 25-cent piece have turned out to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's a coin that captures a fascinating chapter in U.S. minting history, a year that produced some of the rarest modern circulation strikes still being hunted by collectors today. While the vast majority of 1983 quarters remain ordinary, a few exceptional and rare pieces have commanded astonishing auction prices, with values ranging from $50,000 to as high as $132,500 depending on the condition, mint errors, and uniqueness of the strike. In 1983, the United States Mint was operating during a time of economic recovery. The Mint produced millions of Washington quarters at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, identified respectively by the absence or presence of the D mint mark. However, the year stands out because no official mint sets were released to the public, meaning that uncirculated coins from that year were much harder to preserve in pristine condition. This lack of mint sets contributed heavily to the rarity and high desirability of well-preserved 1983 quarters, making them an unexpected treasure decades later. The design of the coin itself remained true to the classic Washington quarter introduced in 1932, featuring the left-facing profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse shows the traditional heraldic eagle, wings outspread, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbols of both strength and peace. Though millions were struck, very few survived the test of time without heavy circulation wear, which is why finding one in mint state condition today can be a major discovery. Among collectors, the 1983 P. Washington quarter in superb uncirculated condition is one of the most sought-after examples. Because so few were preserved directly from bank rolls, top-grade examples are exceedingly rare. In 2019, a 1983 P quarter graded MS-67 by PCGS fetched an impressive $5,880 at a Heritage Auctions event, and just a year later, another in the same grade broke that record with a hammer price of $7,050. But the real stars of the series are those coins that combine pristine condition with rare minting anomalies, errors that make them truly one-of-a-kind. One of the most famous and valuable of these errors is the 1983 Washington quarter struck on a copper planchet normally used for 1-cent coins. Because of the size difference, this mint error is instantly recognizable, showing a lighter reddish hue and weighing less than a regular quarter. These examples are extremely rare, and one such coin sold for a staggering $50,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries in 2021. Another error of the same type, but with sharper strike details, crossed the auction block later that year for an astonishing $132,500, setting a record for the highest amount ever paid for a 1983 quarter. Collectors also prize examples that show the dramatic off-center strike error, where the design is misaligned due to improper feeding of the blank planchet into the press. Depending on the degree of the misalignment, these can be worth anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. A 1983 D quarter struck 65% off-center with the date still fully visible was sold for $8,700, and another with a 75% off-center strike went even higher, closing at $11,200 during a heritage sale in 2022. Then there are the double die quarters, another category of highly collectible errors. Some 1983 quarters display doubling on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," or in the details of Washington's eye and hairline. A well-defined double die 1983 P quarter graded MS-66 by PCGS brought in $9,000, while another near-perfect example in MS-67 sold for $12,300. These subtle but fascinating doubling errors give collectors a rare chance to own a coin that showcases the human and mechanical imperfections of the minting process. One of the most fascinating auction stories came from a collector in Ohio who had kept a small box of change from the 1980s untouched for decades. When he finally had it appraised, one of the coins turned out to be a 1983 quarter struck on a nickel planchet. The coin's lighter weight and unusual silver-gray tone immediately drew attention, and after authentication, it sold for $26,400 at a Stack's Bowers auction. That same collector later sold another piece from the same batch, a flawless 1983 P quarter graded MS-68, for $9,250, proving that sometimes the most valuable discoveries can come from the most unexpected places. High-grade 1983 quarters, even without major errors, can still be worth impressive amounts if they exhibit exceptional luster and strike quality. Because mint sets weren't issued, coins preserved directly from original rolls are exceedingly scarce. A 1983 D quarter graded MS-68 by NGC fetched $4,320 at auction, while another in an even higher grade of MS-68 Plus sold for $6,600 in 2021. Collectors consider these top-grade coins to be condition rarities. So few exist that when one appears at auction, intense bidding often drives prices far beyond expectations. Another area that excites collectors is the discovery of 1983 quarters struck on foreign planchets. During that time, the U.S. Mint also produced coins for other countries, and occasionally, blanks intended for foreign denominations ended up being used for U.S. coins. A 1983 quarter struck on a planchet meant for a 10-cent coin from El Salvador, for example, was sold for $9,800 in 2020, and another example struck on a Philippine 5-centimo planchet sold for $11,750. These rare crossover errors offer a glimpse into the complexity and occasional chaos of mint production. Proof-like specimens, although not officially produced as proofs in 1983, have also surfaced. These are coins that were struck from new dies under ideal pressure conditions, resulting in exceptional shine and mirror-like fields. While they aren't true proof coins, they're sometimes referred to as specimen strikes and are cherished for their beauty and rarity. One such 1983 P quarter with proof-like surfaces, graded MS-67 PL, realized $2,950 at a heritage auction, while another in MS-68 PL condition surpassed expectations at $4,100. Even more intriguing is the discovery of 1983 quarters with missing clad layers. These are coins where part of the nickel coating has peeled or failed to bond properly, exposing the copper core beneath. Depending on how much of the surface is affected, values can vary widely. A 1983 D quarter with 80% of its clad layer missing fetched $5,200 at great collections, and another with a perfectly even copper exposure on the obverse sold $4,650. While these figures are impressive, the true allure of the 1983 Washington quarter lies in its unpredictability. It's a coin from a year that lacked official collector releases, which makes pristine examples genuinely rare. It's also a coin that consistently surprises even seasoned numismatists with new discoveries. Every so often, another extraordinary error or high-grade specimen surfaces, sparking excitement across the coin-collecting world and reminding enthusiasts that hidden treasures still circulate among us. Today, collectors keep a close eye on rolls of quarters from the early 1980s, hoping to uncover one of these elusive gems. Many of the most valuable pieces were found in change jars, old savings, or forgotten drawers, proving that luck and a sharp eye can sometimes pay off in ways no one expects in the world of modern U.S. coinage. The 1983 Washington quarter stands as one of the finest examples of how rarity and condition can elevate an everyday coin into a piece of history worth a small fortune. Whether it's a spectacular mint error, a high-grade survivor, or an off-metal anomaly, these coins have achieved prices that range from $50,000 to $132,500 at major auctions. ensuring their place as one of the most coveted modern-era quarters among collectors. So next time you come across a 1983 quarter, take a closer look. You just might be holding a piece of American minting history worth far more than 25 cents.